Hey guys, ZLD here. Today is the first in a new series I'm starting that I'm calling the Maple Dilly-Daily. A series where I just do my Maple Story dailies as long as I'm playing the game. And I just talk about stuff. Talk about what's going on, talk about the game, talk about other games. So I'll keep it quick and I hope you enjoy. So let's get into it. Alright, so here we are. We're in game. So this is, to keep it kind of short, this is Maple Story if you're not familiar. A game I've been playing on and off in usually in a few month chunks since, well, let me go back. Since about 2005 when the game came out in the beta, I've been playing. I played a lot way back in the day. From 2005 to 2010, I played a lot. And then I fell off for a couple years, and I would go back usually once a year or so. If there was a fun event that looked cool, or if other friends were getting into it, when private servers were a thing. So I've been playing this game for a long time. And I have a lot of characters between different worlds, but I've mostly recently, within the past couple years, been playing in the reboot server, and which I find is the most rewarding if you're going to continue playing it, and if you're really going to have any kind of hope of playing the game and enjoying it without paying a lot of money. You pretty much got to play in the reboot server these days. So that's where I'm at. That's the character I'm actually playing today. Is my main, I guess you could say. It's my highest level character with the best gear, and a lot of that stuff. I'm not this series. I don't want to be me talking about Maple Story. There'll be Maple Story stuff going on here and there, but pretty much the main point of this series is I'm playing this game. I've been playing this game every day, daily, every single. I mean, I've just said that. But I've been playing it as my daily grind, doing all my daily quests and everything, on and off, or not on and off. It's been my daily game for a year and a half now. I forget what the event was. I forget which classic it came out, but I've been playing it a long time. This is the longest I think I've stuck with it in a very long time. I don't think I've ever played this game every single day consecutively for as long as I have during this period of time within the past year and a half. So I've been having fun with it, but again, the whole point is not for me to just talk about the game. The whole point is I'm doing this every day. I figured why not just make something out of it, because I don't really ever, and it's gonna take me a little bit to get used to it, but I never really considered that people would want to watch this kind of thing. But I like talking about stuff, and I think it's a good way to, maybe just talk to myself in a way, but talk about what's going on, talk about what's going good, because I don't know, I feel like I don't get enough of that right now, and I think I'm already doing this. I can use that time for something else. So here we are. And if you don't like the game, or if you never, I need to buy a thing. If you've never played the game, it's fun. It's a very hard sell, to get people into this game. This is a game that it's really difficult for the average person to play and enjoy this game, because it's a Korean MMO, and Korean MMOs, as far as video games go, they tend to be very, very I mean, it's kind of brutal to say, but they don't generally have a good reputation of respecting your time. And usually, it's been a bit since I played this character. Usually, to succeed and to get the end game, and you could enjoy the game at any level, but to get to all the content in the game, it usually demands an insane investment, or an insanely high ceiling of time before you can even really get to a point where you're oh, I'm actually playing everything this game has to offer. And this is definitely a game like that. It wasn't always actually, it's kind of hard to say if it has been like this forever or not. There's been a couple, to stick on the Maple Story topic a little bit, throughout the years. I want to say it was maybe 2011 or 2010. So when the game first came out, it was, I think the maximum level was 100 or 120. And it took a really long time to get to, back in the day, to get to level 50. Getting to level 40 or 50 was a big deal. And it took months and months. And back in the day, the game was completely different. This reboot server didn't even exist back then. Most people played on Scania, Windia, Era, whatever kind of worlds, existed in the game. And the game was really focused back then around like playing with other people and like doing party quests, and less so about doing, you know, just an insane amount of grinding. It was more like you can grind a little bit if you want to, but it doesn't really do, you know, it doesn't really benefit you to just sit there and grind all day every day. It's kind of shifted through the years. I think in 2000, like I said, 2010, 2011, there was this big update, this big revamp that they did. I don't know if it was due to like the player base was dwindling or what have you, but they did this thing called the Big Bang, which made it much easier to level up, and it brought the ceiling for players to get into the game and play the game. It made it so that you can go past that ceiling of like level 40, 50 being a big deal, and you were able to level up much easier and get to like level 120 much easier, because, not to get too much into it, but there was a character job, and like if you got to a certain level, you could do like a job advancement and do new skills and stuff. And most people in the game were not, like the vast majority, I would say, were not getting to that point. So that content just kind of existed. They put all that work into it, and most people weren't even touching it. So maybe that's why their motivation was. I could probably look into it, but that's when the game went more from like a very casual, just play with your friends. I guess that was I wouldn't call it a downward turn, but that's when they changed the focus to more grinding, and you can level up a little easier, and you can experience more of the content. And it's just kind of kept, it's kind of power creeped, I would say, over the years, where it just kept going down that path more and more hardcore, where the game as it exists today is completely, at least in this world, the reboot world, it's completely like solo progression, very, very, it like doesn't even encourage playing or interacting with other players at all. So the game can feel very lonely. And I mean, I guess this is just for somebody like, you know, my age, and somebody who's not like super social, really looking to make friends with, knowingly, probably people who are like half my age, maybe less, maybe not as much. But for me personally, there's not much as incentive outside the social aspect. Like, the game doesn't encourage any kind of playing with other players. There's no optimal ways of leveling up that involves a party, or like a quest of some sort you do with other people. It's all solo, just killing enemies like I'm doing today. Daily quests, all solo. So that's how the game exists as it does today, and that's why I don't feel lonely when I play the game. I don't really think about playing the game. I just play the game because it's more, at this point, I would say I still enjoy it, you know, a good amount. But it definitely, the more I think about it, it's more like that sunken cost fallacy where, yeah, I still play it. Yeah, it's, you know, it's enjoyable, but a lot of the time I'm not even there. Like I'm like, my brain turns off. This is very much a comfort game for me at this point, and I'm here kind of as out of obligation, but not that I'm like not enjoying it. I'm like, it's more like a passive enjoyment at this point, if that makes sense. So that's where I'm at with the game, and I think it's just because I've gotten to a point where I do these things out of like, you can see I can do this stuff without even really thinking about it. I can do my daily quests, and I'm just here doing it, you know. I am making progression little by little, like with leveling up and stuff. But I think about it a lot, where like I'm getting to the point where I'm pretty close to, you know, getting ready to drop this game. There was an event going on since, actually I can see right here, 11/16, November 16th is when this event started, called the Ignition event. And I don't hate this, but I know how I said I wasn't going to talk much about MapleStory in this daily vlog thingy, but in this Maple Dilly-Daily, but I think it's kind of necessary just to lay the groundwork for why I'm even playing this, why I'm here. But that event, the Ignition event that started November 16th, was a really good event, and it's pretty groundbreaking in terms of events, because it basically gave every person who plays this game, not necessarily a free character, but it made it, to give you some perspective, it made it so you can you can make one character, and you can basically boost them and the amount of experience they get all the way up to level 250. And to give you some perspective on how powerful that was, this character I'm playing right now, I made it like a year and a half ago when they revamped the class. I played him every day, grinding with him every day, you know, did all my dailies and stuff. I played more hardcore back then, a year and a half ago. It took me about a solid year, I want to say, to get him from level 1 to 250. Outside of that, there was no event that was going on to help that. So when this event started November 16th, I made a character, and I used the boost on that character. I got that character from level 1 to 250 in about, I think it was like a month and a half. Not even. So that's how insane the game was, giving a character like that. I don't feel bad about having spent like a year to get to the point where I did. I definitely could have done it sooner if I grinded more. But that's just how it kind of fit into my life where I could do that. I could put that much time in. So yeah, I've been playing, pretty hardcore since that event started. But the event is on its way out. It ends February 7th, I think. So I'm usually like when they exit like big events like this, they kind of just go into chill mode for a little bit. And I think that's where I'm going to exit. Like, I think the plan is for me to, I don't know. We'll see how this Dilly-Daily series goes. Maybe I'll continue. Maybe I'll finish it with, or maybe I'll fill it with something else. But I think I'm about ready to exit for now. There definitely will be, like, if there's a new character class coming out in a few months, I might come back for. But I'm just like ready to play more fulfilling games, and there's some like roguelikes. I really like roguelikes and roguelites. I want to get back into. I want to play, some more of that. Maybe get back into TFT. I was diamond rated at one point in TFT, and I think I can go past that. Just for your own information. Nobody, not that I'm keeping track or anything, or not that I'm bragging a little bit, but yeah, maybe that's something I'll do too. But yeah, I wonder, like, if you're watching this, let me know. What's your comfort game? Like, do you have a game that you not necessarily play out of obligation? I think that's kind of, I don't think anybody should play games out of obligation. I feel like, and this is especially true the older you get, you really gotta like, what's the word? You gotta worry about your time more. When I was younger, for years, especially back in the day when I was playing MapleStory back in like 2005 and all that, I would just play this game all day, every day, and not have to worry about anything else because I didn't have any obligations. Like back in high school, I would just play this game late into the night. That was back when I think was it Big Experiments? Yeah. That was like, yeah, I would play private servers and I would make friends. It was more of a social thing. I had friends in school, definitely. I wasn't like lonely outside of MapleStory, but my best friend, he and I would play together. We would find private servers. I had a couple friends we would play with too. It was, and we met new people through the game too. Like I wasn't antisocial or anything like at all, but I didn't have a lot of friends in real life that were playing the game. And I didn't really have a means to get around a lot of the times, so I found myself just playing the game, like MapleStory, a lot, bonding with my brother, bonding with random people that I would meet online, and just making some friends. And that was really fulfilling to me back then. It was to the detriment of my grades and stuff, but that's a whole other story. And I do eventually want to make a video series, or not a series, maybe just one video on this one private server. And a MapleStory private server. And if you don't know what a private server is, it's basically somebody that hosted a copy of the game that they download all the files for. I don't know if it was like legal. I don't even know if legal is the right word. I don't know if it was sanctioned by Nexon, but they were very popular before or even post Big Bang. There was this one that I had joined with my best friend and a couple other friends. It's called Sydney MS, like Sydney, like the city, I guess, in Australia. Yeah, I think that's. Oh shit. I think that's what it was. I think that's a city. But that private server, I have a lot of stories about. And to make a long story short, and a little teaser, I may have single-handedly ruined that private server, and it eventually led to their shutting down. And like I said, I want to make a video about it. It's kind of hard though, because that was like back in that was probably like 2010-ish, 2009 maybe. and I didn't record any of that stuff, so there is some supplemental like videos and stuff that people made of like trailers for the private server I've found, but that'd be a fun story to tell. So I mean, I'm not done yet. Maybe only another less than 5 minutes. But I hope you've been enjoying, what today's episode has been, mostly just talking about MapleStory, laying the groundwork for continuing this series. Because I'm enjoying it. I could do this, like I said, I could do this very easily. I play this game. Usually I have like a podcast up on the side or something. I don't usually do 2 characters in a day. I actually already did my Ignition main for today. So my character that I got from level 1 to 250 for this current event, that's like my main right now. Like, just because I already have a character 250 that doesn't benefit me to play this character right now. And I already played that character and did all the quests for them just before recording this. So I don't normally do a second character. I usually just do 1 character a day, maybe 15-20 minutes. But I was like, you know what, let me record a little video. So that's what this is about. If there's anything you'd like to see or any enhancements, definitely let me know in the comments, or reach out to me. I think a lot of people watching are people I know in real life now, so yeah, I'm open to feedback. I do want to continue this. Maybe if I can get optimized to it, I can record one every day, my dailies, and then upload it every day, because I literally am playing this every single day. Usually it's like during the week it's a little hard just because I have work. And usually I put my 20 minutes in like when I get home from work. So like right as soon as I get home, I play for like 20 minutes and then I go to the gym. Or yeah, it's usually something like that, some kind of variation of like that, where I don't have a lot of time during the week because I work long days. But yeah, I'm open to shifting things around. If it takes me 10 extra minutes to do this, that's not a problem. So yeah, I look forward to, putting some thought into this and thinking of things I actually want to talk about. It's more like, it's like kind of like I wouldn't say outright, it's like meditative for me, but I enjoy it. And I definitely use times like this. I should have been using the time I've been playing MapleStory to do more of this, but most of the time it was just me turning my brain off, watching a podcast, just straight comfort, straight mindless. I'm sure a lot of people have something like that where they just they're not necessarily thinking about it. They're not necessarily, you don't have to be productive all the time. I don't have to be productive all the time either. Nor do I really want to, nor am I looking for that, but I think where I'm at in my life right now, it'd benefit me to put a little bit of productivity into this space, because I'm kind of on the way out of it, and it might help me. Who knows? I don't know how I think no matter what, it's going to help me. How exactly it's going to help me, I'm not really sure. We will see. So I can only say my entire goal for this, and I don't know if it's like a selfish goal. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a creator called Northern Lion. He's a guy I really look up to. I've been watching him on Twitch and YouTube for a couple years. He's really, really smart. really, really good at just like talking. His vocabulary is insane, and I've definitely like sought to expand my own vocabulary more because of him. But he does this daily Binding of Isaac. I think it's still daily. It's been a bit since I've checked on him. He was doing this daily Binding of Isaac series where he would just do a Binding of Isaac run, and then just talk about what's going on in life. And that I wouldn't say I stole this idea from him for this series, but I hope to master something like this in my life. Or I wouldn't even say master. I hope to emulate him a little bit in this, because I really enjoy his content, and I can just put it on. They're like hours. Sometimes they're like an hour and a half long. Sometimes they're like 20 minutes if he dies. And that's the kind of content I want to produce right now in my life. In addition to the Yu-Gi-Oh content I've uploaded. But we'll get there. And I think I regressed a little bit from when I was like streaming and stuff more. Because I was streaming when the pandemic started somewhat regularly. I don't really do that much anymore. But when I was at my peak, like I would say my own peak, I was able to speak very clearly. I do have a little bit of a stutter here and there. I'm sure you'll hear it. I'm a very, what's the word? Congested person. Like, I'm just very congested all the time, so it's hard for me to talk at length without, like, sniffling or, like, snorting. And it's not like, I'm not doing it because I'm not doing it to be disgusting. It's just genuinely, I have, like, a very badly deviated septum, and I think that plays a big part of it. So, yeah, there's a lot of factors that kind of kept me from, I wouldn't even say performing, but being able to speak at length without it sounding to the quality I would like, if that makes sense. So that's the goal. I really like Northern Lion, and his content. Not that I'm just gonna straight copy him, but I would actually recommend watching him if you, maybe only if you like the roguelikes and stuff. Maybe, maybe not. You can just literally just turn the screen off. Like, you can just be listening to it. You don't have to necessarily be watching the content. And maybe that's something I would like for this too. Is, yeah, I'm playing MapleStory today in today's episode. Maybe there'll be other games I play in different days, and you don't have to necessarily be watching the screen. Maybe it's just something I have a point of just listen, and it's enjoyable for me and for whoever's out there. So that's just goal, is me thinking like to myself out loud what I could do with this. And yeah, let me know if you want to. Let me know what you think about that, or if you're even there, or if you please like, subscribe, comment. I don't know. I'm not here to play the YouTube game too hard. It's ironic and unironic, because I do know the platform. I do know how you're supposed to succeed and how it actually works. I do know a good amount about that, and that's maybe a conversation for another time. But YouTube and Twitch, I know a lot about. I'm not successful on either, really. Maybe compared to some people I am. But I usually compare myself in terms of success, in terms of my own life, like, to the higher performers on the platform. Not that you really should, but it's because I've never really been serious about like succeeding on these platforms. I did a little bit on TikTok, etc. I've done a little bit of everything. Nothing seriously though. I think this is the first earnest attempt I've made in my life to putting out like a regular content. So we'll see. And like I said, I have a lot of conversation topics. I'm open to feedback too. But yeah, I think we're pretty much, let's see, are we done? This is, when I say dailies, this is all I mean. I need to finish the ignition coins for the day. And yeah, that's 300 out of 300. So that's all my dailies for this character. I think I'm gonna end it here. If you enjoyed it, please let me know. Let me know any feedback you have. Let me switch back actually. Let me go back here. Yeah, so that's it from me, ZLD here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will probably see you tomorrow. Take care.